I really didn't want to keep talking about this story, the boat incident, whatever you want to call it, the pink powder club. But we've got some new news about Stefon Diggs, and it comes from the Patriots insider Scott Zolak, and he says the era in New England could end before it begins. Welcome to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and yeah, let's talk about it. So let's just get right to it. Stefon Diggs on a yacht. A couple days ago, he flashed an unidentified pink substance. We don't know what it is, but we can assume what it is. And he was not at Patriots OTAs the very next day on Wednesday. Now, what Scott Zolak said, and it really kind of bothered me a bit, and he talked about, well, there's a possibility that he could be cut. And do we want to see him cut? I'll get to that in a little bit. I don't want to see it happen, but if the Patriots want to do it, well, they're going to do it. Scott Zolak went on his daily, weekly, whatever you want to call it, podcast, his radio show, and he said this: I came to the show yesterday with the opinion, not opinion, don't really know what he means by that, but the knowledge that is on the table, that it is being thought of about Stefon Diggs potentially being released by the Pats. And it's not just the boat. It's not just the boat. There are some other things that I've heard that put some things into question. Are you all in here? And before we talk about just Scott Zolak in general, or talk about Stefon Diggs in general, let's just talk about Scott Zolak. Like, people could say, oh, what does he know? Well, he's pretty involved in the Patriots organization. He's a former Patriots quarterback. He was the backup to Drew Bledsoe back in the 90s. He's a color commentator for 98.5 The Sports Hub. If you listen to the Patriots on the radio, you hear Scott Zolak's voice. And if you remember the specific reference that I'm going to make back a long time ago in 2013, unicorns, show ponies, where's the beef? That's Scott Zolak. He is very in-depth with the Patriots organization. So I would take everything he says, not with a grain of salt, like really take it in, because he knows a lot, and I mean a lot, about this team. And when you work with the team, you're connected. You're connected. You have sources inside and out. You can talk to Elliott Wolf. He probably has him on speed dial. He can talk to Mike Vrabel. He talks a lot, and then he goes on his radio show, and he said those words. But what he said, it's not just the boat. What do you mean by that, then? What else could it be? Because we've seen Stefon Diggs work out, post videos. I mean, he's trying to build his PR back up. He's posted 3 videos maybe since the incident on his Instagram of him working out. He was at OTAs the week before. So what else could this possibly mean when he says it's not just the boat? Is there some things that we don't really know about? But Scott, if you're going to say that, you have to talk. You have to tell us more. What else is going on with the Patriots? But the Pats were very smart when it came to his contract. And we're going to get into his contract details in just a second. But they were very, and I mean very smart with his contract. They have an out after the first year. An out after the first year. So we could be seeing Stefon Diggs only 1 year in New England, which would be crazy to say, but it's definitely a possibility. Before we get into his contract details, we have to be smarter than this right here. The Buffalo Bills breakdown. It's a new channel here at Chat Sports, and I want to kick their ass. They're beating us by less than 100 subs. It's the last day in May, people, so can we get these numbers up? Can we cross the finish line before June 1st by beating the Bills breakdown? I can't do the math right here, but 465 is less than 558. So hit that big red sub button. We're talking Patriots every single day. I'm the only person in the Chat Sports studio right now. There's no producer. I'm producing myself because I wanted to get this video out to you guys, all the content. And I also did some analytics shopping, some searching. And I saw that 65.3% of the people that watch Patriots Today are not subscribed. Shout out to the 34.7% that are. So if 65%, let's get those numbers up. If you're watching this video, all you got to do is click. It's super easy. It's free. and it supports the show. Let's beat the Bills breakdown. Subscribe to Patriots Today. All right, so let's talk about Diggs' contract. And it was a 3-year, $69 million contract with $16.6 guaranteed. But there was an out after the 2025 season. And if after that out, if the Patriots decided to release him, it's a $9.7 million dead cap. So that means that even with you cut him, you lose $9.7 million on the salary cap. Now, that is not a lot whatsoever. The Patriots right now have $67 million in cap space, which is the most in the NFL. And people want to talk, oh, they were spending. Yeah, they were spending a lot of money, but because you had it. And if the Patriots cut Stefon Diggs tomorrow, because that's when the post-June 1 cuts, and we'll have a video out of possible post-June 1 cuts, possible post-June trades. That's why you subscribe to the channel. We'll have that for you. But if they cut him, let's say tomorrow, the Patriots only get hit with an $8.6 million cap hit. That is absolutely nothing compared to if you cut Harold Landry tomorrow, you lose $19 million in cap space. So they were very smart about Stefon Diggs' contract just in case it didn't work out, just in case they knew he was a little bit of a diva. But when you're a star wide receiver, you kind of earn that role to be a diva in this league. And if you perform out, it doesn't matter what you're doing on the boat. Before we get into more topics about Stefon Diggs and this potential cutting, I always search for some good deals for you guys, and this polo was $29.99. It's not anymore. It's $49.99, but it is still 42% off. So get yours today because it's not going to be on sale for that much longer. It's hot. It is 80 degrees outside here where I am at Chat Sports. 80 degrees. I love wearing a polo outside. I love going golfing. Get yours today, chatsports.com/PatsPolo. We'll have that in the comments and description of today's video. Now, the one person that I could see saying, yeah, let's cut him, is your head coach. It's Mike Vrabel. And this isn't your Drake Maye Patriots. He's just not going to let that slide. Like, Mike Vrabel is completely different than what we saw in 2024. We've heard the players say it. Yeah. Mike Vrabel is no tolerance whatsoever. And you heard it after the press conference right before practice at OTAs when they said, yeah, he's not here. You'll find out in a minute, but he's not. And then Mike Vrabel said this, and that's where all the shows were talking about it, ESPN, NBC. It got national news, people. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore, but everybody's still talking about it. He said it's something that we're aware of. Obviously, we want to make great decisions on and off the field. Any conversations that I've had with Stefon will remain between him and I and the organization. Now, shout out to Bryson on Twitter. If you would follow him on Twitter, Bryson NFL, he used to make a very good Patriots podcast back in the day, Title Talk. Vrabel is a vibes guy. He is a no-tolerance SOB. Like, if you mess up once, he's going to let you know. Javon Baker was jogging on his way back during OTAs after he caught a pass, and Vrabel was pissed. And he talked to him all day after practice. He was walking back with him, telling him what you did wrong, and very pissed off. So you can imagine how mad Vrabel is after seeing his star wide receiver, who they signed in free agency, not a veteran on this team, a very new roster. You can see how pissed off Mike Vrabel was. Now, Scott Zolak said that he could be cut. But Scott Zolak also said that Diggs shouldn't be cut. And I agree with him, because there's no way you should cut a guy that you haven't even seen on the field. And Scott Zolak also said this: the videos look great of him working out. I've touted the videos. If you go and watch him, he looks healthy. He really does look healthy. I will say that. You watch it on Instagram, you see him at OTAs last week. He's jumping up and down. It looks like he didn't even tear his ACL the year before. He said, I know you need diva receivers. I say he shouldn't be cut because I think he would help Drake Maye and this offense and Josh McDaniels, because you would have a true viable guy that would set coverage. Right now, you still don't have a guy who sets coverage. Yeah, you're 100% correct, Scott Zolak, because you went into last season with the worst worst receiving core, and somehow Drake Maye made it work. And that's why I think Drake Maye is going to have a great year this year, because he now has a wide receiver. He now has Stefon Diggs. Now, he's probably not going to be ready the first 4 weeks of the season, but still, that's only a quarter. You still have a whole bunch of people in with Kyle Williams. You also have Matt Collins. So I'm going to ask you guys this question before I get into my opinion, and I'm going to make this clearly known that I'm keeping him. I'm keeping Stefon Diggs. So let me know down in the comments. Type C for cut or type K for keep. Now, for me, it's an easy, and I mean easy decision on if you cut Stefon Diggs or not. Hell no, you don't cut him. Sorry for screaming. Your guys are going to have to deal with me screaming, but hell no, you do not cut him. This is one single incident. It's not that bad. We don't know what that substance was, granted. It could have been drugs. I don't know. But you do not cut Stefon Diggs when you haven't even seen him on the field. You need him. You need Diggs in this offense. You need him to contribute. You need a star wide receiver, because if you don't have him in your depth chart, you're done. Your offense is going to be half the offense that it would be with Stefon Diggs in this system. And if you look at last year's receiver stats for the Patriots, they were terrible. This is why you still need Stefon Diggs in this offense. 161 receptions. Yeah, bottom 5. Yards, last. Touchdowns, bottom 5. You need Stefon Diggs in this offense. You have to have him. Now, mandatory minicamp is just a little bit away. It is June 9th. So he has time, and I expect Stefon Diggs to be there. And the media is going to be there, and all the questions that are going to be asked is about not football related. They're going to ask him about the boat. So Stefon Diggs, you better be ready, brother, because you're going to get all those questions, and you better show up. If you don't show up, then we're going to have a problem. So we'll see what happens at mandatory minicamp. It's going to be very, very, very interesting, but you don't cut Stefon Diggs. You do not cut Stefon Diggs. You keep him on your roster. It's one incident, people. It was during voluntary minicamp. Voluntary. You didn't have to be there. Now, do I think he should have been there? Yeah, but you're not forced. Carlton Davis wasn't there, so he's out there riding jet skis, which is dangerous. It's kind of the same thing, and we're not talking about that just as much. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's beat the Bills breakdown. Let's get that number up. Subscribers, watch time is 35%. Let's get that up. And also, follow me on social media, @TheRealAlper on Twitter, @TheRealAlper on Instagram. You guys made the Stefon Diggs clip go viral on Facebook. It has 640,000 views. That's awesome. Support to you guys. And as always, let's go Pats.